$1 million. So I'm doing okay.
And I have 3, so
Then I win.
I also own 3 houses and 16 cars.
I own 3 houses.
I have
And
my
a
own
wide body charger.
I have my own charger too.
Yeah, it's not a wide body though.
Well, not yet. All right, well, I'll leave you to it. I'll let you do your thing. I appreciate the time.
Well, my door's always open. Tell it to everybody. Until I take off for good.
Try and stick around for a little bit.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. All right, Toretti. You take care. Don't get too comfortable, all right? Enjoy your time.
The fuck does that mean, Flop?
Don't get too comfortable.
I will snap you in half. I am not scared of anything.
Okay, well,
Don't get too comfortable. Who are you threatening?
No, I'm just saying, you know, the retirement life, it gets to people. You ever hear the stories of people that retire and a year later they drop dead? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not happening. I've never felt better ever.
Okay.
You know how nice it is to be. People were saying stuff about, you know, oh, what, you're gonna be bored. I go, I can't wait to be bored. That is my dream.
That's fair. Well, whatever makes you happy, Toretti. I wasn't trying to be, you know, threatening about that. You do what makes you happy, all right?
Okay.
I'm gonna exit dramatically, okay?
All right.
Okay. You take care.
Charlotte? You need something?
Oh man. This is an interesting time for Flop. Flop doesn't know how to feel because he needs to. Flop does still need to talk to Dark about everything. Unfortunately, I don't think Sock's gonna be around. That motherfucker was awake too goddamn long today. But yeah, Flop's in a rough spot right now. Flop is trying to figure out just where he should be standing in all this. And he shouldn't feel bad because he didn't go to the war, but to not go to the war and deal with the repercussions from a character stance, really having a hard time wrapping his head. Ooh, hiccups. The thing is that Flop and Flop didn't get a chance to really talk to Toretti about this, which is fine. I mean, there's probably going to be future conversations, but for Flop, Flop's like moral stance on things is that he has told other people that, you know, he survived Pred. So what's to say we can't move past this one? But realistically, this one is a stronger impact than Pred's, you know, whatever you want to call Pred, right? So for Flop, he's stuck in this weird dilemma where while he feels like he's not being complicit, he also feels like there's a chance that it could be viewed as being complicit because he's in command. So he's in a little bit of like a hard spot figuring out if like he really is the bad guy. I just remember when Flop told Nick he doesn't know anything about the war drama. I'm gonna be honest with you, that was entirely a lie to Nick though, because no, Flop didn't see it, but he knows about it. Flop lied to Nick because Flop was told by I think it was Bundy who told him, who was Bundy pretty much like flat out just said like, you know, hey, That shit that happened that you heard about, yeah, that shit be like real as fuck, dog. But yeah, Flop does actually trust Toretti enough to want to express his concerns about the PD. And, you know, honestly, that's probably the most raw feeling Flop has regarding everything, was that conversation right there so far with everybody, outside of like Kurt yesterday or the day before, where Flop stated that he's just tired. He's tired, and he's tired he's just tired of everything. And it hurts Flop to know that from a leadership stance, while we already struggle to get units to come around, to hear people say that they don't want to come around anymore because they're not proud to wear that badge is demoralizing. And from the leadership stance, Flop, Toretti's right, is in a position to be able to get the answers from people if he needs them. The issue that falls in line, though, is it's hard to relay information to General Patrol because everything now in PD is a leak. You know what I mean? Maybe this doesn't need to go to General Patrol. Maybe this does, right? So for Flop, he's sort of just in this weird mode where he's struggling. Hey, Winston.
Hey, how's it going, Flop?
Oh, never been better.
I do not have the news for you then, damn.
Winston, I don't know if things could get any fucking worse, gonna be honest. So, gonna be real, I actually think the light of my day right now is your phone call. What's going on?
Well, do you want to come pick me up then?
Should I go off duty?
Yes. I mean, I don't think I'd be welcome on a ride along.
You have a record?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think the charges are being pushed to the docket.
What?
Yeah, we should talk.
Okay, I'm getting off duty. I'll see you soon. Where are you?
I'm at City Hall.
Okay. I'm gonna grab my truck. God fucking damn it. All right. Actually, you know what? Give me a minute before I lose sidetrack. I need to do a couple things at the PD real quick. I have to just drop off my gear.
This is like last time.
No, it's not. It's not.
I waited at the airport and I cried.
I'll call 2 minutes.
I sent you so many
boots that every department gets.
Like these? Blacks.
Yeah, just black boots. They'll be fine.
I think umbrella should be okay. Yeah, Toby, it's a weird thing. Okay.
Yo.
Hey, Bison, how you doing?
Oh my god, it's Flop!
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my what's up? How you doing?
Nothing. What you doing, man?
About to go off duty and talk to somebody real quick, I guess. I don't want to stick around on duty and be a number if I'm not on patrol. But
Oh, you don't want to hang out with me? Okay, cool.
no, we can hang out. Trust me. Just give me some time. I'm actually calling you about something separate real quick.
Okay.
Yesterday, 2 days ago, I don't remember. I wasn't on duty yesterday, but I had to suspend. Oh my God. One sec. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. It's been such a busy fucking 2 days. Hold on.
All right, come on, Stonefinger, follow me.
Jeffrey Price.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, Price.
Went on an island and thought I was sanguine and started shooting at people and stuff.
Yeah, I ended up, I got his guns off of him. I threw them in that locker because I figured they were probably related to the war because he's been missing and he was in gear. So I just put his 3 firearms. It was a PDM4, 5.7, and a shotgun in that locker for the sanguine shit. So.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. But yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem. I got you. I'll be on duty in a little bit. We'll talk soon.
All right, later, man.
Later.
Bye.
All right. What's up, Simon? Chad, how do we think the conversation went with the one and only? Is it S0? Yeah. Bessie Bison. I know. Look at this photograph. By the way, chat, thank you for all the resubs. I do appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the new subs. I know today's been kind of an interesting one, but I think there's a lot of good roleplay that's going to be coming between now and soon. So buckle the fuck in, because shit's not going to slow down anytime soon. Trust me. And also, in case anyone's curious, the actual feelings, again, if anyone's here from that conversation, I guess from Toretti, Flop is seriously actually considering like walking away from the PD. He's trying to... So stupid. Flop is actually weighing out his options. I would be interested to see Flop. Where are you at, City Hall?
City Hall, yeah, I'm just standing here in the green.
Okay. I have my truck that's got a red engine light, but it's okay.
How bad does it look?
Well, the Bang
What
Boys
truck are
won't
we
fuck with
talking?
us.
You know, if I hadn't have heard about the Bang Boys earlier today, that comment would have really sent me through a loop.
The Bang Bros won't get us.
The Bang Bro bus won't get us. Yeah, with the baseball
Bang
bats
bus is
and
not on the way.
The Australians. But I did get a call. Well, I called Bundy, and Bundy was telling me about how he beat off three Bang Bros.
Oh yeah, it's Bang on
yeah,
site with them.
It's Bang on site with them. That is a hideous truck.
Where you at?
Behind you to your right. Hi, Flop.
What's up, Winston? How you doing?
Oh, never better, actually. Genuinely.
That's good. Forget the fact that this
Aw.
thing is actually on ice skates.
This isn't a vehicle. This is a Hot Wheels car that they just like mega raid, like mega sizo raid. It's like, honey, I grew the car. I still shrunk the kids, but I grew the car.
Don't question my Hot Wheels car, okay?
I'm not questioning, and I'm commenting loudly upon its beauty.
Well, thank you. It's
You about to
nice.
send me off the pier?
No, not this time.
Wait, what, next time?
Don't worry about it. What's going on, Winston? How you doing?
I mean, it sounds like you need to vent more than I do.
Somehow to say, I wish I was in your position sometimes.
Okay, that's just not true. In
No,
any way,
I
shape, or form.
fucking envy you right now.
You envy me?
This police department, holy shit.
Sounds like we got a rant about the same thing.
Great. Let's go inside. Let's go in my place.
I mean, we drove here, so we're clearly not going to my place.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't want you to. I feel like I need to say this as a formality, but like, I'm married and I don't want to have sex with you.
And times have changed. My life's really hit rock bottom.
Come on in. Let's go to the balcony.
God, what a hideous this place is. You know, I used to live here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, things haven't changed all that much. I mean, this was Bryce's room.
Yep, there's a lot more. Well, there's still the camera. That's still there. There's a lot more purple LEDs now. Was it always this neon?
Just it's mood lighting.
What's the fucking mood?
It was
Fuchsia?
Bryce's place, probably sex.
But it's blue in here too.
It's
No
just-
wonder you're depressed.
Listen, blue light is good for your eyes. That myth,
Yeah.
that myth
Okay.
to say that blue light's bad for you is bullshit. Okay, what's the point of wanting to feel tired if you can just stay awake? Let's go to the balcony. Come on.
All I'm saying is you got the mood lighting of the Ocean Gate submarine in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that too dark? Because it's fucking dark in there.
Don't worry about my mood lighting, okay?
Okay. So, where do you want to start?
Well, you're calling me. I mean, my shit really, unfortunately, is not like anything I can really break down and explain. I'm really defeated, in my current position. So
That's fair. That's fair. I get that. I mean, I called you because, well, I'm not usually awake at this time, whereas you usually are. So it would
Yeah.
be odd if you called me.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess then we'll just catch up and start. How's DOC going?
Well,
Ain't no fucking way. The first question I have.
that's a good question. That's a great question, actually.
You son of a bitch. What did you do?
Actually, nothing. But that was too much. You know, the irony of it was I was sat outside. I was doing my job. Brett had to meet the lawyers and judges. So, you know, I put them all in the room, confiscated their items, and then I sat in the main lobby of prison. Outside the government facility. That's key for later, by the way. Like that part's real key. And I sat there.
Which
and
part?
I was the being outside of a government facility.
Okay.
And I stood there and I spoke to Jenny about how I've been trying to get back into the PD for 5 months. 5 months.
Jenny.
Jenny Hall, you know.
How's she doing?
Didn't
I
mention-
haven't talked to Jenny in. It actually could be upwards of a year since I've even spoken to Jenny or seen Jenny.
Yeah, she's doing great. She's. Ooh.
What do you?
And we were discussing how
Is she still in the PD?
Yeah, currently, yeah.
Okay.
And I was discussing with her about how I'm done. I'm done trying. It's been 5 months. I got fired from the PD. First thing I did was try to be a lawyer. I was a lawyer for a couple of weeks, and then my FOIAs all got denied. And I was told that all former cops were on review, and then everybody else got approved, and I didn't. So I have a bar license, but I am not currently able to practice law. So I said, fine. I went and did civilian stuff. I got, and I went through a training program with the scouts so that I would be reformed. I spoke to Bass, and Bass said that I would never be blacklisted, and it was up to the P&T departments whether I got hired or not. And then my 30 days came, and I spoke to Stubble, and Stubble said they would love to hire me. I just needed to speak to High Command. And I told him what Bass said, and he said, that's fine. He'll speak to High Command anyway. And I was like, okay. And then I got offered the janitor work, or the janitor, dispatch, or admin assistant for a number of weeks in order to show my dedication. And I said, hey, that's kind of an insult to dispatchers. We shouldn't use their department as a punishment. And he was like, yeah, I agree. We shouldn't use it as a punishment, especially since it's just reformed and been given a new breath of life and new leadership and everything. I was like, look, I'm going to respectfully decline this offer. I don't mean to be offensive, but it's kind of an insult to me, and I don't think dispatch should be used that way. I've shown my dedication to the PD in the year and a half that I've averaged about 270 fucking hours a month. I mean, at the end of the SU, I put, 14 cases on the docket in a single month? I've shown my dedication. I'm happy to come back as a cadet. I expected to come back as a cadet, but cleaning toilets is kind of a rough one.
Yeah, that's kind of
Then I got blacklisted. I still to this day do not know why I was blacklisted. Nobody ever told me. I was just told, you can't come back. But your family members can if you want. That was it. And then fair, I wasn't around all that often. But then I've come back and I joined DOC, and for the past 3 months I've been DOC. And I've been toiling away. I spend 3 hours sometimes on shift. I come around like once or twice a week. I do 3 hours on shift alone. Nobody in prison. No guards, no lifers, no inmates. Nobody being sent to prison. Just me on the rooftop of the cafeteria for 3 hours at a time.
yeah, the proper DOC experience.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
And I did that for, every week or so. Wake up, do a couple of hours of DOC. We go play some Baldur's Gate. You know how it is? And then all these sanguinas came in. And I've had long conversations with TJ before and everybody else. Kyle Bread's in there. And seeing all them kind of made me re-question, do I even want to try for the PD? Seeing the stuff that's come out because of this war. Actually, even before I get into that part, I called Stubble before the war because DOC got drafted. And I said, hey, I don't want to come to war. I've dealt with war. We did Sandy Shores. I've had the Eastern Bloc chase me for months. They followed me to Spain. I've had Apaches, MiGs try and hunt down me and my family repeatedly. I've had drones blown up in my face and RPGs fired at me. The war zone sounds like the worst fucking place in the world to go for me. I'm missing an arm already. But if I come, would it improve my chances of getting back into the PD? And under Sheriff Connor Stubble said to me it was above his pay grade. I'd have to speak to the commissioner. I went to speak to Toretti after the war. And then he retired. I saw him on the catwalks of the prison, and I went to go speak to him, and he wasn't there when I got up there. So I said, okay. I continued looking for him, couldn't find him. Next day, he retires. Because I guess he sees what the rest of us sees and thought, fuck that. Well, I'm then
Ain't
having a
that some
long
fucking
conversation
timing?
with Jenny in the outside area of the prison. You know, just chatting about how I'm kind of done with the PD. And you know what I saw? Do you know who I fucking saw 13 Alpha? Preston Hale. Preston Hale, the motherfucker who put a hit on Ash Ketchup and sold PD weapons to the person who tried to kill her. And then the first thing he did when he got fired was kidnap a cop and shoot them. So I said, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Fuck this PD. I'm never going back to the government. Fuck all of them. They don't want me there. I don't want to be there. I'm done. I'm not going back, even if they give me an offer. And within 5 seconds, DOC asked me to come into the changing room, put all of my DOC gear in there, searched me, and found that I had multiple phones on me, arrested me, and read me my Miranda rights.
Why did wait? Huh. That took a turn. Why did they arrest you?
Because I had multiple phones on me.
Can I ask a really stupid question?
Yeah.
Since fucking when was it illegal to have 2 cell phones, or in this case, even multiple cell phones? Is there a misdemeanor possession charge of cell phones that I'm unaware of?
Introducing contraband into a government facility would be the charge they are likely to be pushing on the docket.
Are you... I'm sorry. Are you to assume that you're not allowed to have a cell phone in the prison?
Technically speaking, no, I'm not allowed. Nobody's allowed to have a cell phone in the prison.
Okay, well, that actually makes a lot more sense then. You might be fucked.
Well, I wasn't inside the prison.
So they call you outside the prison?
They caught me outside the prison. Whilst I was waiting outside of the lawyer room where there was multiple people inside speaking to Fred, whose contraband I had taken off them because they were going inside the prison.
So just to clarify, to break this down to some degree, you collected possessions of people who were inside the prison, and you stayed outside the vicinity of entry and were placed under arrest for other people's possessions?
Well, they don't know whose possessions they are. They never asked me any questions. In fact, what they did is the DOC guard illegally searched me. He then arrested me. He then gave me to a PD member. The PD member read me my rights, and I said, I will be invoking my rights, to which they responded, oh shit. They then took me outside and said they were releasing me without charge. Charges will probably be pushed to the docket.
Who arrested you?
I don't know. They were all wearing the execution gear because they were about to perform bunk flips.
Yeah, you know, Winston, there was a situation a long time ago involving an officer, or as some may say, a sheriff. That was not Kyle Pred, who tried to arrest somebody for having aluminum and glass and stuff on them. And I very specifically recall, unironically, unbeknownst to me, Reggie Might telling me about this and stating this officer seriously thinks that they're going to get this person on illegal possession of materials. And in which case, said officer was laughed at in court and walked away. Now,
Yeah, I imagine the same's going to happen to Holden.
I'm gonna be fucking honest. I want to imagine the same thing is gonna happen in your case.
Well,
But
especially
Jesus
when
Christ.
the 4 witnesses I'm going to be calling to my defense. Actually, I guess I could call 5, but it would be off the top. Percy Weaver, Nathaniel Grayson, Alexandra Carlson, Titus Swinghammer, and then Jenny Hall.
Wow. Do they not realize, and you know, maybe poor timing to state this, but do they not realize that they have just called an atom bomb to go off in that courtroom? That's going to be an interesting fucking case.
And their evidence, as far as I'm aware, is going to be I had excess phones on me, but they have no idea where I got them from. I mean, they're going to subpoena me, but there's going to be nothing on my phone.
Respectfully speaking,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean this from the officer's stance too. I mean this holding the badge. Who fucking gives two shits where you got 8 cell phones? If they were not inside the confinements of the prison, fan-fucking-tastic. Who gives a shit, right? If you were inside the vicinity of the prison and somebody then asked you, why do you have 8 cell phones on you? I could understand the line of questioning, right?
Yeah. That
Now,
point,
if you forgot about them and you walked
okay,
in, that's another thing. You were
no,
outside.
I think the angle the DOC are going with, and it's completely valid, is they're trying to find out how all of the prisoners have so many phones on the inside. And they think the DOC guards are the cause of it, and not the, I don't know, 6 or 7 helicopters we had flying into the fucking into the fucking prison every day.
Do you know who would be a good witness for you?
Who?
Harvey Holden. And I cannot believe I'm
Harvey
saying that.
Holden is going to be the one who's charging me.
That fucking... Okay. Well, maybe not Harvey Holden then.
But I could still try and call him as a witness to my defense if
You know-
you really want.
This stays between us. But Harvey has been continuously... I don't even know how much I can really say. All I'm going to say is this. There are countless situations we have had inside the prison right now. Yeah, this is how I'm going to say this. Okay. We have had countless situations involving the prison of people landing helicopters, people ramping up into the prison via a staircase, on a bike, people finding way. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be a buck. None of these situations would be fucking happening if they could just phone a friend, a DOC guard, to bring the shit into the prison for you.
Well, I mean, they were also bringing guns into the prison.
That's what I'm saying, though. What would be the point of making this big fucking entrance if you could just phone a friend and hand the guns off to someone like you to bring them in? It wouldn't have to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't want guns in the prison.
We don't want guns in the prison, but
We don't want guns in the prison.
we don't want guns in the
We
prison.
can agree that the guns in the prison are kind of bad.
It's a horrible thing. But can you not?
It kind of sounds like you're like, let's just let them have guns in the
No.
prison.
I'm making the point that let's be smart for a minute. If DOC was the ones bringing the contraband in, would these people not just call DOC to do it for them? You get what I'm saying? Like, why go
And then
through
you could subpoena them and what, raid them and arrest them that way?
Listen, all I'm saying is that burner phones and payphones are a thing, okay? There's avenues there. I've seen it. I've been through it. But to be completely fucking transparent for a minute, Winston, we have had multiple cases of people introducing contraband into the prison recently in the last 60 days.
For the last 5 days.
I'm just saying, within the statute of limitations, there have been cases that have come up. So if they're gonna try and blame you for bringing cell phones in, boy, they better have a good fucking answer for it.
The amusing thing is seeing the other people that were also fired, and within, was it 12 hours of me being removed? Oh, I was told I was suspended, but I woke up this morning and don't have keys, so I presume I'm fired.
Hell of a suspension, unless it's indefinite suspension pending case, which in that case would make more sense, but still.
Well, nobody else has lost their keys. But I mean, within 12 hours of the people they purged from the, and then did a mass bunk flip, people still have phones immediately again.
Winston, when we were doing our patrol, I say our patrol, but our hold on the prison to help you guys out, I watched multiple people on cell phones. Unfortunately, when we have 6 to 7 cops on duty and 2 people on the catwalks, yeah, I'm not about to tell 34 fucking people to go into the pen so we can rip a cell phone off of somebody. It unfortunately just would not necessarily go in our favor.
Yeah, that was the same with this. There were four guards, 2 on the catwalks, 2 in Gen Pop. I'd be talking to them, and one of them would pull out a phone, and I'd be like, right, just give me the phone, because I'm not gonna bunk flip you and do all that shit, but if you just give me the phone, at least I'm doing my job, and you're doing your thing. I know you've got more phones. And then after that, after they handed me the phone, guess what? They would just go into the, into their little cell, and they would use the phone there. I'm not gonna fucking go into cell block 7 or 6 to go get a phone. I'm gonna get shot.
Do you want an honest statement coming from me?
Yeah.
The war was bad. In fact, I would argue that the war was good for most of the parts up until...
There was no way you could tell me that that war was good.
Well, hear me out. I believe that the people that went for the war went for an intention and a purpose that they believed in, and I can support somebody who truly has a belief to go fight for their life if it's what they believed in. Now, I say this is somebody who didn't go. However, the events that transpired after...
Why did we fight that war?
You're talking to the person that the day before the war, I was pulled aside by a member of command and asked, you know, what's your position on the war? What's your position on Sanguine? And my only response was, hey, yeah, hand me a map and tell me to point to Sanguine, because I'm going to tell you now I won't be able to.
Why did we go to war with Sanguine?
I don't even know. To be completely honest with you,
why did we go to war with the Lost?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember why we went to war with the Lost, because every day they were twitting about how they were going to make it an independent state.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was an independent
Yeah.
state, and the thing with the war with the Lost that made sense to me was that the war with the Lost was on San Andreas soil.
Mm-hmm.
This was not.
They weren't a sovereign nation. They were declaring themselves free from us. They were also kidnapping SDSO and something about basement and ice. I can't remember. I remember Cleo telling me about it.
Yeah,
Cleo.
I don't know if I've ever met her, to be honest. I've heard about her. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, maybe you did once, but a long time ago.
I gotcha. What was I saying before? You kind of sidetracked me. Not your fault.
We knew why we went to war with Santa Shores. Everybody kind of knew it. Jenny then fucking single-handedly dealt with all of the deals for every single person involved in that.
Yeah.
But we don't know why we went to war with Sanguine.
My point is that the war with Sanguine was rough. It was hard. It was rough. A lot happened. Understandable. I get it. With that said, though, I truly believe and I mean this more than ever right now, I have had to stand in front of a meeting room and tell people the war might be over, but it is now on our soil, and at least for the next 30 days, it will not be over. And if people think it's going to be over in the next 30 days, they're wrong. This war, if anything, based on what you're telling me regarding everything happening in the prison, DOC is having, if we had it rough the day of the war, DOC is on another fucking level. Because unfortunately, the actions of what happened were for what, 8 hours, 10 hours? The results, unfortunately, for you guys is beyond that.
I know me. I ain't coming back. I'm not gonna be DOC. I'm not gonna become PD. I'm looking for other avenues.
Winston, I'm sorry we failed you. And I know it's not.
What?
I know it's not my fault.
I mean, I was fired for good reason. I know why I was fired. That was valid.
Were you fired for good reason though?
I mean, it was harsh.
Is being told you're not welcome back, and that the only way you'd come back is to scrub a fucking toilet?
Okay, but that was the blacklisting. But that bit, yeah, that was wild. But the actual firing was valid. I'm not going to contest that. Again,
You
that
brought
a
up
little harsh at the
Preston,
time.
and all I'm saying is that, and I mean this wholeheartedly, there are people that have been fired recently who, I'll be honest, were fired for way less. Or sorry, for way more, and offered positions back.
Who's been fired recently?
Doesn't matter. Just know that I really feel like the system failed. And I continue to sit here and consider a leave of my own. The Senate is beyond corrupt. And it hurts to have to sit here and state that I didn't go to a war.
You know, part of the discussion I had with Jenny was about how, I mean, just self-included a little bit, but me, most of the leadership of SCU at that time, all chased down Michael Simone day after day, where we were constantly like, look, Michael, we understand what you're saying. PD is corrupt. There's some bad eggs in PD. They do fuck shit. And fuck shit is bad. But, do you know what else is bad? Blowing up Polito Bay Sheriff's Office. That's also pretty bad.
Yeah.
But like, we agree with what you're trying to say, but don't do that because we can change it. We can make this PD better. You just have to believe in us and stop making us chase you as you blow up PDs, and we could have more time to focus on our PD and make sure that it doesn't continue to be corrupt. We caught Michael Simone. Michael Simone went to jail. Michael Simone reformed. He's now a free man. PD's still corrupt. If anything, it's worse.
I'm going to say something that might sound maybe
Oh
asinine.
no, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say maybe the asshole who tried to murder my family with bombs was kind of right, and we should have done more bombing.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think the asshole was probably somewhat right. And what hurts me even more to say, and again, this is going to sound very asinine, considering how I really, you know, our friendship is I'd say pretty fucking close. I'm glad you are not in the PD right now, because if you were, you would have walked out, I think, almost instantaneously with the shit that's been going on.
Why haven't you?
To be honest with you, it's close. I had a conversation with someone before meeting with you. I don't want to see this PD fail. And I think most of the actions that happened came from the Senate, if anything. And I don't agree with the Senate. But I also don't agree with the PR that the PD has stood for recently. And
Get to agree or disagree with the Senate, by the way. You just follow orders.
what was that?
You don't get to agree or disagree. You just follow orders.
That's, yeah. Listen, that's the problem is this is the talk I had with somebody just before you. I asked if compliance was guilt.
Yes.
Compliance is guilt. I also think the issue that we walk into is if, let's say in a perfect world, every member of the police department put their badge and gun on the table and walked away. You know what would happen?
There'd be nobody left.
80 new people with badges and guns would walk in who are compliant with the people above. To be honest with you, and this is where I'm at right now. The people who feel this way are the people that have watched this PD grow and fall in a lot of different ways. And the emotional attachment to the decisions that are made are the ones that I think are going to make the most impact. Now, the fear that I have is if everybody were to walk out, you would just be given a new group of people who will listen to everything that the Senate says. And you know what? If today is my last day, today is my last day. But you best believe that before I go anywhere, I'm going to go down swinging. Will it make an impact? Probably not. But the same thing I've told other people is the same thing I'm going to tell you. And I know I've had this conversation with you in the past. I took an oath. You took an oath. Everyone that ever wore a badge took an oath to protect and serve. And even under leaderships of Kyle Pred and the other insanely corrupt shit that we dealt with in this PD, a lot of us still stand here and get to say that we hold the badge.
I'm going to use the Senate defense here. No, technically we didn't take an oath. Just like technically there's no war crimes.
I don't know about you, but I stood in front of a room and put my hand up. And I will specifically remember, I believe it was Ripley who had me take that oath. And while everyone else in the PD had failed, I stuck true to my oath and my moral. So if my impact here does not make the impact for others, that's fine. But at least my personal oath and my personal moral compass will be full. It will be filled.
Wait. Do you remember what the oath of office is? Because I only took it when I got promoted to sergeant. That was the first time I ever did it. There's nothing about protecting and serving in there. In fact, it's all about standing up and supporting the Constitution and defending the United States from enemies, foreign and domestic. Oh, and then blah de blah. You do it without, like, you're not being forced to do it. You're doing it freely. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the foreign and domestic thing.
Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of pertinent.
Yeah, that's kind of pertinent to the state of San Andreas. In other words, that oath is hold and barred in the state of San Andreas. I shouldn't have to go to a fucking island and essentially secede from the state of San Andreas.
What? We did give them sovereignty. I remember that happening. I remember we gave them their own free country. It was a different country. They had their own judicial system. Judge Dan became their chief of justice. They were allowed to do what they wanted. We just had an extradition treaty between the two of us. And then I guess we got bored of that.
You know more about this than I do.
And decided they were no longer a free country.
Winston, to be honest with you, my oath in the PD is the one that I follow, because when everything else fails, I know that my morals will stand. And I don't believe I've ever been compliant when it came to a lot of the bigger decisions. And honestly, I'd rather keep it that way. Won't be perfect. But even when everything hit the fan, during Kyle Pred era, I still continued to do my thing. And I remember a lot of people, a lot of citizens, and a lot of even gang members and criminals just ecstatic to see me on a scene. Because they knew when everyone else was compliant, they were cool to talk to me. I still got the job done, and I still got the same charge, if not more, due to the honesty. But I'd like to continue doing that. And the reality is that, could I leave tomorrow? Could I leave today? Sure. Do I want to? No. I don't want to see the PD fail. But I genuinely, Winston, do fear that if everyone were to just take a stand and walk away, there is no more authority from our level. The only authority at all at that point is the Senate. And
Senate's still the authority, whether you're in the PD or not.
you're right. But you're going to have a bunch of people who were not around in the past to have some kind of bar of judgment. You're just going to have a bunch of headless chickens who comply to everyone above.
And if you resist, they remove you and replace them with that person anyway.
Like I said, I have a moral compass. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I have a moral compass. And if I make my stance and go down swinging, then I make my stance and go down fucking swinging. That's fine. At least I know that I tried to do right. The day that happens is the day that my position here is done. But I do fear that if everyone walks out, we will never see change. Not to say that we would see change now, but you best believe I do think that we would have a better chance of seeing change now than if everyone were to just walk away. And it hurts me to say that. So to answer your question in the most long-winded way possible, that's the reason I haven't left yet.
Sounded like you were just trying to convince yourself to stay rather than giving me an answer.
No, I gave you the honest answer.
Yeah, but your answer was that you arguing with yourself about whether you should stay.
No, because there's two options. There's two routes to take. I leave and make my stance. Or I make my stance and then I leave. Regardless of what happens, the same outcome happens. But if there is any way that I'm going to be happy with that, with the decision made, I'm going to do it holding the badge.
How many times I've thought about leaving LSPD for the things that they did?
Quite a few, because you and I had many conversations.
How many times did I leave the LSPD?
I don't recall. I don't think you did it all, right?
Nope, never left the LSPD. Stayed loyal to the end because I always thought I could change it. Didn't work out. Even at sergeant level.
Hey, who knows? I might be in the same spot.
Sounds like you are.
But I don't think everyone's the same. The rank has never meant anything to me. I respected it. But the way that people treat me and the way that you know, I want to be treated are two things that I would hold above all. So yeah, you might be right, and I could be wrong.
I'll be honest. The way that I was treated inside the PD by members of PD and not members of PD, and then the way I've been treated since I've left the PD, only one of those groups has treated me the same.
Yo, whoops! Thank you so much for the prime.
Forehead stabbed me in prison and then apologized for it. Apart from yourself, Bundy, Kiki Pendragon, Jenny Hall, Mackenzie Hayes, nobody contacts me from the PD anymore. I don't have any use to them. They don't treat me the same. They don't particularly care. Harvey Holden used to call me every single day. Even after I actually got fired for about a week or two, he would call me every single day to either complain about something or ask for advice. I used to ghost his calls at least 3/4 of the time because I'm busy doing something else.
Thank you so much, folks. Genuinely, I appreciate the support. You guys are
When
amazing.
I got fired, none of them called me.
We're
He didn't
close
even
back to
have the
800.
balls to come and speak to me once I
Y'all are
got
amazing.
arrested.
Thank you.
He ordered my arrest inside prison and then didn't even question me.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's not required to question you. You would hope that he would have had the dignity to, though, as you know, in any capacity. So I understand. To move on from, I guess, all this shit, what is your plan?
There are people out there who wanted me to work for them for a while. And I said the same thing to all of them before. I can't do that. I want to get back into PD. I don't want to get back into PD anymore. It was my life. It was my goal. It was my dream. And I've been told no.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask.
In the position to pull the trigger, would you shoot me?
Difficult question, lots of variables. I would like to say no. I believe I would say no,